Are you from Indonesia? That is very nice. That's very kind. You know that my neighbor has been to Bali, but I don't think that she's been to Indonesia. Okay.
It's time to quit while we're ahead. Don't think like that. I will love you endlessly if you don't believe.
So before we jump into 10 things, I have to tell you that this video was made like a couple of months ago when I was in Indonesia, but I just happened to make this video now. But don't worry that the information was still updated. My name is Gohla. I normally talk about Switzerland, about how I live here, how I work here, how I blend with the culture and regulation here, how I blend with the locals here, and how I learn languages here, which is very difficult, and etc, etc. But today in this video I'm going to talk about my home country, Indonesia, especially the most famous place, island you might know, Bali. Yes, everybody knows about Bali. Who doesn't know about Bali? But you know, it is not just about the beach, about the beautiful view that you can find everything, all the stories about the beach in Bali. But this is not what I'm going to tell to you. I'm going to tell about 10 things that not many people know that I'm going to share to you in this video. So let's dive in. So arriving in the international airport in Bali, it is called Ngurah Rai International Airport. The exciting, exotic journey is starting right now. So the first thing that you can find in Bali, the unique thing that this experience cannot be found in other places, is that when you arrive at an international airport and then you go to your hotel or where you live, or guest star or wherever you live, and along the street that you pass through, you can see a lot of cultural musical Bali that is very typical Bali. And then all of a sudden you have the feeling like, oh my god, this is in such beautiful places, and some of this music very related to the cultural religion event like Ngaben, Kuningan, Galungan, and etc. There's a lot, and always with this kind of sound that even now, and 1,000 miles away from my home country, I can still hear this music. It is very beautiful. That I found it so interesting and makes me fall in love with Bali is that, like, when in the morning, really in the morning, when I try to explore Bali street, I always find this sesaji. You don't know what it means. It means like a ritual offerings, a kind of a little palette of offering that contain of many things, like sometimes incense, the food, and every good things in this little palette. And this is they put it on the street, and this can be done only with the locals, and sometimes for the big rituals, religion, and sometimes they can do it only for daily routine. I'm kind of curious, so I asked the locals why they do it every day. So I asked the permission of one guy, and then he explained me nicely why the people in Bali do that every day.
Tadi itu pura beji ya, pura beji itu untuk pengambilan air suci untuk upacara ya.
The interesting things, if you get into the restaurant in Bali and then they perform the live music performance as the background music, it is not from the audio system or whatever, but they just really play it lively, and you can see this performance very nicely. So this kind of sharing instrumental is very dynamic and nimble. So they use like I don't know what it is. It's like metal keys and bamboo mallets. So they do it together. It's very harmony. It's very dynamic and nimble. So it's very beautiful. Gamelan Bali. green coconut. Oh my god, I'm a huge fan of this green coconut. Really, I go crazy with this water of green coconut. You can literally pick up one of the best young green coconut and then you break it open and then sip away. You don't have to do it yourself because the street vendor will professionally do it. They are very good at it. They open it with a very sharp knife. I kind of this looks very dangerous actually, but they are doing it like every day, so that should be fine. And then break it open and then drink the water and also eat the meat, the very soft meat. And this is like really, again, I'm a huge fan of this green coconut water. Bali is very identical with the beach. Of course, if you go to Bali and you don't go to the beach, I think it's gonna be very strange. But you know, sometimes the way to get to the beach are full of people on the street because they want to go to the beach at the same time. This is the thing, there is a unique thing in Bali. There are many paths or the road or the street. You just have to ask to the local people and they will show you as the alternative way to go to the beach, and it is cool. Finally, I can get this kind of shadow here in a very hot day in Bali, Kota Bali. And we are heading to Legian beach, and for this alley, the next things, it's not very nice actually, but I really have to tell this because I love Bali. So hey people, you come to Bali to enjoy the beauty of Bali, but please consider to keep it clean and tidy. There are many rubbish in some places and it's a pity. I saw many rubbish on the street and people kind of lazy to throw this rubbish into the rubbish bin. Although the government provides so many rubbish bin here, it was just ruined by all this kind of rubbish on this area. Pity. The next typical thing is that you can find immediately in Bali is of course about the house design, the traditional house design of Bali, especially when they use traditional material for the roof, the stairs and also the wall. This is really beautiful. And if you are in this house, whatever it is like hotel or whatever, you have the sense of balance because they put the traditional material and they really consider about the harmony and balance, so that you have the feeling that you are in the palace or you are in a temples, and really proportional and dominated by the colored bricks. This is also something beautiful that I found in Bali, which is the traditional clothes. When you're entering the tourist destination, whatever it is, not necessarily has to be the temple. So when I was in Garuda Wisnu Kencana, this is also one of the tourism destination in Bali. I have to put this kind of sarong. This is what I got from Bali, by the way. So both men and women should wear this clothes. It's called sarong. So they put around the waist and then put it every time entering the temple in Bali. So this is very beautiful. I mean, I want to keep it forever because it's a memory from my home country, especially from Bali. So I really love it. Okay, talking about tattoo in Bali, there are many tattoo studios that you can find in Bali, and then it triggers you to make the tattoo, whether this is temporary or this is permanent. But this is like really inviting to have the experience to have this tattoo. I'm not going to talk about tattoo because in the last video I talked also about the tattoo, but the thing is, I want to tell you that the tattoo guys, the tattoo person, the tattoo people that I met in Bali, they are so nice, they are so friendly, they are so creative. So they do surfing, they teach surfing for living, so they will offer you the best experience surfing ever.
Nama saya Andi, saya guru selancar di Pantai Kute. Bagi teman-teman yang mau belajar selancar, silakan datang ke tempat saya. Saya jamin belajar tempat saya 1 jam Anda sudah bisa.
So this is really fun, so I also enjoy doing surfing with them, with the tattoo guys on the beach, and that's gonna be really cool. The last but not least is the nightlife in Bali. This is really cool because they know how to enjoy the night, how to really make the nightlife in Bali is like 24/7. It's never end. So not to mention about the great nightlife scenes with hundreds of venues. So you cannot get enough. So a week staying in Bali is like going like poof. It's like very quickly gone. So I miss Bali, I have to admit. So I hope that I will go there very soon. Indonesia is a large archipelago. It has like 18,000 islands. Entire archipelago of Indonesia. It's huge. It's a lot, and Bali is one of them.
If you don't believe, don't you feel like that? I will love you forever. If you don't believe in me.
Okay, I hope that you enjoy my story about my trip in Bali, what I collect about 10 things that can only be found in Bali, or probably you can find also in other places, but I think that in Bali is still very unique. It's very exciting. One thing that I really need you to know, that Bali is part of Indonesia. I'm very proud of it because I'm Indonesian. And please people, if you come to Bali, again, do not just enjoy the beauty of Bali, but please consider also to make it clean and tidy. Like for example, place your rubbish in a proper place, and also consider to make Bali also beautiful as it is. Okay, thank you very much for being with me. I hope that it can be useful for you, especially if you've never been to Bali. I will see you very soon again in my next video. Okay, bye.